Hi guys, welcome to this video. It's like a what if DJ didn't quit in Total Drama Action, assuming everything before it went the same. DJ basically just what if instead I'm going to say he breaks his alliance with the chef, but he doesn't quit, like he does it in private and it's pretty much forgotten about. Instead of him quitting, in episode 9, the Grips lost and they were voting out to Lindsay, only for DJ to quit, which saved her. But since he doesn't quit this time around, Lindsay can't be saved. And yeah, it really does suck to see Lindsay get eliminated this early. But I'm not creating plot armor like in my Ezekiel video I just made. Episode 10's non-elimination. Episode 11, the Admiral Lindsay thing would not happen. Even with DJ here, I still think that the gaffers are going to win this challenge. Who are the Grips going to vote out? Beth and Owen will be safe from the votes. Justin and Izzy will be in the bottom two. And I think that Owen actually did vote for Izzy in the original. He did not seem surprised when she was out. He seemed sad, but he seemed to be expecting it. So Owen did vote for Izzy. And I'm thinking, and either Beth or Lindsay in the original must have voted for Izzy in order for her to get out over Justin. So it's either a tiebreaker or Izzy's out. What do I think will happen? I think Beth is going to keep... I'm just going to say Izzy gets out. Episode 12 is the aftermath. Episode 13, Courtney debuts. The Grips would still ultimately lose the challenge. And Justin, Beth and Owen all try to vote out Courtney, but it does not work. But they don't count. The gaffers... Well, actually, I'm kind of unsure what the results of this challenge would be. Because the gaffers have DJ, but I'm going to say they win. I don't think DJ would hinder them, so I think they still would win. Owen gets out, like in the original. He still does return later though. Episode 14 is irrelevant because it has no elimination. Episode 15. Now this time the challenge is going to work differently because the Grips are outnumbered 3 people to 5 people instead of it being tied 4 each. So this is the order. Lashana pushed the hardest of the gaffers, followed by Duncan, Heather, and Harold. How well do I think DJ would push? He is pretty strong. I think DJ would push the second hardest, only behind Lashana. So Harold sadly does not get to participate this time. I'm going to say that the weakest player on the gaffers just doesn't get to participate. This time Heather and Beth would have to do the would have to do the like slow motion battle instead of the challenge they originally did, which was badminton, which changes to the next round. He said, who do I think would win between Heather and Beth? I think that ultimately Heather would try to attack Beth. I think Beth is going to win, because I think Heather would try to attack Beth and would forget about the slow motion rule. Beth probably wouldn't be able to do it as well as Harold did in the original, but I still think she would do I still think that she would go in slow motion when she can, and the grips would get the first point. Duncan and Courtney have to play badminton. Courtney is just a powerhouse in this season. I don't know how she would do in badminton, but I'm going to assume that Courtney also wins. DJ and Justin have to do the ball pit wrestle. I think Justin is realistically going to win against DJ. Heather is still voted off. It's the merge. Let's say merge as usual, except DJ is in Lindsay's place. So, Beth, DJ, Duncan, this is everyone who makes the merge in alphabetical order. I think that Duncan is still going to try to get Lashawna voted off, but he has Justin's vote. He wouldn't even need Harold's vote, as he would just convince DJ to vote with him, except it's in episode 17, not in episode 16. Episode 18 is Aftermath. Episode 19 is the Princess Challenge. Actually, I'm thinking that since Lindsay isn't here in episode 16's Reward Challenge, there would be no winner to the second part. So Courtney would actually be the only option for the princess, but she was the princess in the original, so no changes. I can't really picture DJ doing anything good here. Ultimately, Justin would still rescue her and then have the win taken away from him unfairly, and he gets voted off. Episode 20, non-elimination, can be skipped. Episode 21, this is where Owen gets brought back to the show. This time, there is no Lindsay, and she was the boot of this episode. Courtney has immunity. I think that Beth would arrange for her and Harold to vote for Duncan. Owen would still throw his vote away, like the original. Duncan and Courtney, they both hated Lindsay and wanted her out, but since she isn't here, who would they want out? I think that DJ did not like Courtney, but he did like Duncan. So Duncan and Courtney would both ultimately have to vote together, and I think they're going to vote for Harold because he cheated Courtney out of the first season. I think they're going to vote for Harold over Beth. So that's Harold and Duncan tied 2 each. Actually, no, I'm going to put Beth and Courtney back down. DJ is the swing vote. Who would he rather vote off? I think he would rather vote off Harold, since he's close with Duncan. Final 5. Now, Owen... Wait, no, Harold would be out in episode 21. Episode 22 is non-elimination. Episode 23, Harold isn't here to find out about what Owen did. Courtney would still make that alliance with Beth. So it's actually the final 5, but DJ is in Harold's place. Beth has immunity in this challenge in the same way as the original. This thing she had with Harold wouldn't exist, which is good. I think that Courtney is going to be voted off here by Beth, DJ, and Owen. Owen probably gets Owen or DJ, regardless of what Duncan and Courtney do. I do not see Courtney being safe here. Without Courtney, Owen also wouldn't be exposed as a traitor. That's something to keep in mind for episode 24. Beth, DJ, Duncan, and Owen are the final 4. So it's the same final 4 as the original, except DJ replaces Courtney. And do I think DJ is going to choose the shark? No, I think he's more likely to choose the raccoon, which leaves... Beth actually let everyone choose first in the original. Duncan would still pick the chameleon, Owen would still pick the bear. DJ would probably pick the raccoon over the shark, which leaves Beth with the shark. So who do I think is going to win? Probably DJ, to be honest, as he does bond with animals. This isn't World Tour, he doesn't have that curse. DJ wins immunity into the final 3, and Owen doesn't get disqualified this episode because nobody knows about him being that producer's mole. I think that DJ and Duncan would vote together. Beth probably knows this. I think Duncan would probably vote off Beth. And I think DJ would be reluctant to do that because he likes Beth, but at the same time he probably does do what Duncan does here. And I think I'm not exactly sure what would happen, but I'm thinking Beth would try to get Duncan voted off. This episode was a double elimination originally, but only because of Owen. Since he's a producer's mole, Beth would probably try to convince Owen to vote for Duncan. Again, he's reluctant. Owen is closer to Duncan than to Beth. I think Beth is ultimately going to get voted off here at 4th place. Also, I need to change this to merge. I'm dumb. So, DJ is immune. Owen is safe with no votes. Duncan gets the final Gilded Chris, not Marshmallow, with 1 vote. Beth is voted off 3-1. Now it's time for Now, in this episode, I'm going to say that this is like a final 3 round, like in World Tour, where it's a sudden death elimination. The loser gets eliminated. Out of Duncan, DJ, and Owen, who do I think is going to do the best? I think DJ is the most likely to be social here, as everybody liked DJ. I think he could get quite a lot of the questions correct, like Beth did in the original, since DJ is a great social player. I'm going to have to... Owen is probably weaker than the other 2, and I think that DJ and Duncan are going to move on to the finals. Owen is going to get eliminated, which leaves Duncan and DJ as the finalists. Now, which ending do I think is going to happen? So it's the finale, but DJ replaces Beth in the finals. DJ is actually quite a good social player in Total Drama. In Island, he had a good chance to win, I think, if he wasn't unfairly eliminated. And he also had a good chance to win in Action. So I think he would take Beth's place in the final too with Duncan. Looking at everyone else, who do I think is going to win via jury vote? In the original, who did vote originally? Gwen voted originally. Who is Gwen going to vote to win? I think she would probably go with Duncan here. So they got along well. I think her swing vote was the swing vote between endings. Lindsay doesn't vote. Izzy doesn't vote. Well, she does vote, but it's not for either of the finalists. Heather, I think she's more likely to just vote based off of who she thinks was more strategic. And I think her vote also goes to Duncan. Lashana does not vote. Justin is really ticked at Duncan, so he votes for DJ to win. Harold, both of those guys had bullied Harold, but I think Harold would probably prefer it if DJ were to win than Duncan. So Harold votes for DJ. That leaves Courtney, Beth, and Owen as the last three to vote. Courtney votes for Duncan. Beth votes for DJ. Owen is the swing vote between endings. He voted Duncan over Beth. I overall think that Owen is voting Duncan. So this is actually kind of similar to the original, where one finalist is a clearly better social gamer, but multiple people who absolutely would have been voting for him, such as Lashana and Trent, their votes became ineligible, so Duncan gets the official ending, DJ gets the alternate ending. Jeff, just gonna have to move on here. This is a huge step down for Lindsay. Same for Izzy. Same for Heather. Same for Lashana. Same for Justin. It's a slight step down for Harold and Courtney, but only by one spot each time. Beth was a finalist in the original, but she becomes fourth. Owen still comes third, except he lasts an episode longer. DJ and Duncan are the finalists, so DJ just replaces Beth. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. I also just made the Ezekiel video, but I decided to make this because